Welcome back to another Real Talk reaction. This one's for Firefly Season 1, Episode number 13. It's the penultimate episode, people. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. It does help with the algorithm.
Alright, we got a couple of comments to feature from episode 12, starting with executive producer Bjorn, who says, "Hey guys, first off, I wanted to share my thoughts on episode 11, where we saw Mal's wife, Saffron, again. To this day, this episode is one of the best cold openers and endings ever. Mal full-on naked in the desert is priceless, and not one of the others believed that Saffron might be legit this time around. Wash had the best response for her suddenly being on the ship. How did she get here? We're in space. I don't remember pulling over." Right. Thankfully, Inara was in on the double cross and saved the day. Yeah, Inara came through as a boss in that episode. That was cold.
That was a full circle coming around.
Now a little behind the scenes trivia for episode 12 that you just watched. If I remember correctly, everybody on set was told that the show was canceled pretty much right before they filmed the very emotional funeral and end scene. If you know what news they all just received, you can really see and feel their sadness. So not only did they bury their old war buddy, but they really buried the show. And suddenly the scene has a whole different meaning. I felt it would be important for you to know. Great reaction as always, and I'll see you in the next one. I mean, overall, that episode just had this like heavy tone. So they're going into the reaction. Obviously, that's our job. No, they were going into the acting with that heavy news, and then having to film a heavy ass scene like that.
Yeah.
Woo! I felt it.
Yep.
So I think the added context does help in that regard too.
Yeah.
Alright, then Eric Johnson says there are 3 Firefly episodes that never aired. Trash, the previous one, this one, and the next one. Because they never aired, they may not have gone through the entire process of being finalized before airing, and so there tend to be a couple more issues with them. With this episode, for instance, it never really addresses why the crew didn't just explain the plan to Tracy while he was waving a gun in their faces, which would have solved a lot of issues. We totally said that. Like, use your words. Tell them, like, this is what we're doing. That said, I still like a lot of things about the episode. I'm a fan of stories about stories, and so this one, the fake message after death that ends up as a self-fulfilling prophecy, works for me pretty well, even acknowledging the glaring plot hole. In particular, the end of when you can't run, you crawl. Oof. Being held back into the end of the episode just hits me every time. Yeah, it was just a sad fucking episode. Yeah. It was so sad. There's no way you can like leave that episode being like happy. You know, it was just very heavy. Dead Cowell adds, "Well, sure, it seems somber and sad with your cuts," and it is, but it has possibly the 2 of the funniest lines in the whole series in it that didn't make the cut. A man walks down the street in a hat like that, people know he's not afraid of anything, which spawned a cottage industry of making those hats for cosplayers. Yeah. And Zoe's bit about, "That's the whole point of stealth," to which Mal shows up guns blazing and yelling, "We're over here!"
Yeah.
Brilliant. I hope you have the movie ready to go because you're going to want to watch it real soon. Alright, and then we have a couple of comments I pulled from YouTube. Patrick Foster says, "Not sure if someone already mentioned it in the comments. This episode is doubly sad. While filming, they were told the series was canceled."
Wow.
Steve, yeah, so it like carries extra weight.
And then, no, we got 2 more episodes.
Stephen Watson adds, "Of course there were ways to fake your death. River had been through it twice and Simon once already." And the last comment's from Full Moon Prepping, who says, the cast had just been informed prior to filming this episode that the show was being canceled, so every participant, right down to the composer of the score, carried the weight through the story. In fact, the composer wrote the ending funeral music specifically to reflect both the death of Tracy as well as the death of the show. Jeez! It's so heavy!
Everybody was in there.
Like a dirge. It really is a beautiful piece of music. All kinds of issues in this one, PTS and regret, being lost without familiar comrades to keep you squared away. I really like this episode. Great reaction, breakdown as always. Alright guys, thanks for those comments as always, and the insight on the stuff that's happening behind the scenes is always helpful as well. Let's get to episode 13 right now.
Make sure you know it's still the future. just came out?
Go.
Yeah, for business.
Shut up, whore.
And you, we don't trade with at all, Ransburgess. You're no longer welcome in this establishment. You've been told that.
I've been told a great many things. I'm here for what's mine.
Ain't nothing here belongs to you. You don't get gone, we'll be well within our rights to drop you.
The rights you got are the ones I give you. Find the girl.
She ain't here. Girl left this moon more than a month ago. It was you chased her off.
Oh, is she there? They didn't hide her very well.
Damn. She was standing behind the door.
She's like, I'm here.
Actually, I am here.
It's a good thing.
Why should I?
I left with my baby.
This baby ain't yours.
So you keep saying. If this DNA is a match with mine.
Let me call my girl Nara.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. Startled.
You didn't.
Prostitute union gonna get together.
Baby, companions.
Companion union.
Like, how long is it gonna take you?
Companion union. You're gonna get together.
Let's get these whores together.
Society of
But perhaps the dining area isn't the place for this sort of thing.
What do you mean? It's the only place at the table big enough.
Of course. In that case, every well-bred petty crook knows that the small concealable weapons always go to the far left of the play setting.
Got a distress call coming in, some folks asking for help.
Really?
Folks asking for help from us petty crooks. Well,
Maybe I
Us
should
petty
take that right
crooks.
away.
well, it's for her.
Huh?
Calls for
It works out perfectly too because we finished this one right at the end of this month, so then the movie's totally gonna be picked for next month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got word you're in the area. I'm imposing, but I got no one else to ask.
It sounds like something this crew can handle. I can't guarantee they'll handle it particularly well, but
They got guns and brains at all.
they've got guns.
Brains we can.
Payment won't be a problem. We just ain't equipped for this.
Andy, it's gonna be all right.
The house would tell you not to come. I know they ordered you to show me when I left.
The house can genhotse bidiosa. I would have waved you long ago. It's just...
Doesn't matter. Who'd have thought we'd both end up all the way out here?
Who'd have thought?
She be stealing
Let me
girl
know what
dudes.
people say.
That's why she got
Of
shot.
course.
I'll wait to hear from you.
Seemed like a nice person.
Zufuni, baby.
And you. I suppose you heard most of that.
Here's my
only
shit.
because I was eavesdropping.
Only because I was eavesdropping.
Friend sounds like she's in a peck of trouble.
She is. And there's no authority in that moon she can go to. They're totally alone.
Some men might take advantage of that.
One man.
And she's looking for someone to come along and explain things to them.
That's essentially it, yes.
A whole house full of companions. How they fix for payment?
They're not companions. They're whores.
Oh. Oh,
I
God.
don't much care for that word.
They're not really
I can't.
They're...
Independent.
Yes.
Fucking. What the fuck?
If you agree to do this, you'll
man.
be compensated. I'll see to it.
He even tried to be nice. Oh,
You
so
keep
he
your money.
companions, huh?
We need no payment.
Come on, man. You gonna have to get paid something.
Thank you. I'll contact Mandy at once. But you will be paid. I feel it's important that we keep ours strictly a business arrangement.
Alright, go.
I'll speak with the crew.
Good.
See what we got a murder. Just make sure everybody alright with killing.
Those who have a mind are welcome to join. Those who just as soon stay on the ship can do that too.
I must see the benefit in getting involved in strangers' troubles without an upfront price negotiated.
These people need assistance. The benefit wouldn't necessarily be for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Dawn's gonna force you to go, Jane. As has been stated, this job is strictly speculative.
Good. Don't know these folks, don't much care to.
They're whores.
I'm in.
I mean,
Oh my God. Jay is just so classically himself.
That's the whorehouse.
Yes.
How come
We're just gonna throw whores out this entire episode. This is what it is.
We leave.
Cheap power.
Oh, the whores are prettier than the house.
Right.
Mandy, darling.
What was Clark over
See you,
there?
Mindy. You look wonderful.
And you look exactly the same as the day I left. How do you do that out here?
Sheer force of will.
Mandy, this is Malcolm Reynolds.
I appreciate your coming.
Well, any friend of Inara's is a strictly business-like relationship of mine.
Oh,
This is my first maid,
he's
Zoe.
being a little petty now, babe. She was like, I wanted to keep it strictly Disney
Can I
between.
start getting sexed already?
Well, that was kind of horrific.
Can we talk business?
In here. The rest of you, there's food and some liquor at the sideboard. Make yourselves at home.
He's like, can I get some? Can we start whoring already?
Look, they got the boy whores. Wonder if they service girl folk at all.
Let's not ask.
Isn't there a pregnant woman I'm examining? Really lying with someone, being paid for it?
Well, it's not like anyone else is lining up to, examine me.
Whoop. My John Thomas is about to pop and wow from there's so much tasty in here.
Would be you
Oh my
get
God,
your most
Jade is,
political
like,
about
gonna
your
have it.
pecker.
You'd be the doctor?
Don't look like nobody up lining up to examine me.
Yes, sir. She's feeling a mite weak right now.
Let's get you lying down.
That's a plan.
That's the plan. Get me lied down.
Shepard?
No, thank you.
We were hoping we might have a prayer meeting.
We ain't had one in months, except what Emma here reads out on Sunday.
Last Shepard to come by was springtime.
Is he
We only
uncomfortable?
read one passage. And they took it out in trade off both of us.
Everyone's got somebody. Wash, tell me I'm pretty.
Were I unwed, I would take you in a manly fashion.
Because I'm pretty?
Because you're pretty.
Because you're pretty.
I take it
Or
reasonable.
I unwed.
I would take you in a family fashion.
As a taker.
You think the kid is his?
I think it's Pedaline's.
But the blood test.
Well, he did favor Pedaline pretty exclusively, but she had others. 50-50, not that it matters. The man ain't fit to raise a cactus plant. His barren prairie shrew can't bear him an heir, so he takes it into his head to pull it out of us. That's not gonna happen.
I see that's the case.
And you see the way we live here. Go into town, it's the same. Some places come up rustic because they ain't got more than the basics. Rance Burgess has money enough to build a city, a real community. Keeps people living like this so he can play cowboy, be the one with the best toys. Turn this moon into a goddamn theme park. Someone stands up to him. He means to burn me out.
Yeah, sounds like a fun guy. I'd like to meet him.
This won't be solved with talk.
I'm going to fight a man. It helps to size him up.
Well, he'll be at the theater tonight, that's a certainty.
And so am I. Nara?
If we can fight a man, we need to see what it looks like inside my
Will you wash it first?
Will you wash it first? Just embarrass you.
So I told the boy, you take a clean woman's virtue, you take the woman, and that's for life. And the boy said his vows right now. Took very little persuasion.
Oh, it's nice to know there's some places left in the verse where old-fashioned values still mean a thing. Been done right, Jay.
I don't think I know you.
Name's Malcolm. Malcolm Reynolds. And might I just say, she is quite a beauty.
Well, thank you. Ever had occasion to handle one of these, Mr. Reynolds? Silk trigger, active.
Ooh, that's a fancy one,
laser.
babe. That's not like the regular old
That would
pistol.
have more heft to it.
Don't let that fool you. Won't find technology like that short of Alliance. Any of the their issues don't yet have the auto target adjust. I have that crafted special.
See, he spent all this
Didn't
money
think
on
weapons
some
such as
gadgets,
this were
babe.
generally legal. For a private owner, I mean.
My husband makes that excuse is getting a little worn, honey.
It's not an excuse, dear. It's objective assessment. I can't help it, it stays relevant.
I can't help that it
I
stays
don't give a
relevant.
good go around about relevant wash or objective. And I ain't so afraid of losing something that I ain't gonna try to have it. You and I would make one beautiful baby. And I want to meet that child one day.
Well, how about let's stop going on dangerous missions then? Let's tell Mal, let's retire. If you want to have baby.
You won't have baby. Who are you?
That's all I'm saying.
Man's gonna use up all our credit before we've earned it.
Well, after you saved our lives, you can do some chores, maybe.
Fair hand with the mop.
So your legend tells. Truth is, I expected a whole lot more of you to be taking payment in our trade.
Well, we're not a conglomeration. Got a preacher,
Those are pretty good.
married fella, a doctor. Well, he'd have to relax for 30 seconds to get his play. That'd be more or less a miracle. These are fetching little pieces. Any of them work?
Oh, don't got many rounds for the chaplain there, but the rest will be of use. This is my favorite.
What's its history?
Violence and crimes, I have to say. What about you?
Similar.
No, I mean, when he appointed you.
That's my history. Violence and crime.
My girl's is clean and kind-spirited.
Well, I got the job on my mind. After, I'm sure
Down.
they're a fine bunch.
You ain't looked at one of them as long or loving as you looked at those pistols. You're not sly, are you? Because I got my boys.
Sly, no.
I got my boys.
I don't do women folk, just one thing at a time.
I'm into women folk.
Never like complications.
Oh, I'm certain of that.
Something to be smiling at.
I trained as a companion, remember? I read people pretty well.
Well, that's nice for you.
She's a hell of a woman, ain't she?
Anara?
Anara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a cherry blossom, no deny. Expect you know her better than I do. Coming up together and all.
Imagine I do. Did she ever tell you why she left Sanaa?
Never asked.
Yes, you did. I don't know my own self. I was gone long before. And I'll tell you, it was a shocker leaving. She was special. There's 40 women in House Madrasa, and you pick her out in a second. Could have been house priestess for years' time.
Is that right?
Had her eyes on it, too. Very focused. She's like you more than a little.
More than a little.
And how exactly is that?
She hates complications.
They do crop up though, don't they?
Such is life.
They're like baby.
You're not completely dilated yet.
Well, you know, I say
It's gonna be
opposite
pretty quick, but
attract.
don't try to force it. The contractions are still preliminary.
What'd you say? It's gonna be a little while, sweetie.
Oh, but it hurts. This turtle wants to be born, I know it.
Can you get the green vial from my bag? We can dull the pain some.
How many babies have you actually delivered?
As a primary, this would be the first. You?
My first two. Mine too.
We were mine too.
It'll be a long night.
The men run the houses and they don't ask for references. We didn't get them all.
And where's he at now?
Let's just say he ain't playing the dulcimer anymore either.
He ain't playing the dulcimer either.
So he dead in the backyard? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
You are a remarkable woman. You don't mind my saying.
As long as it's you saying it and not my fine rice wine.
Well, it takes more than a few drinks to render my judgment blurry. What about you? Am I getting any prettier?
Am I getting any prettier?
Now I should check the barricades, make sure everyone's ready.
Everyone's
trying,
asleep.
trying to avoid the complications.
Well, that is can. Like before a fight. Can you?
What?
Sleep?
Just now, yeah, unfortunately.
Maybe I should get the shepherd.
Well, I ain't sent yet. I'd feel a little more than awkward if you were here when I did.
You expect to accomplish something sinful then, do you?
If I'm overstepping my bounds, you let me know.
Jamais nation de fois, so Malcolm, I've been waiting for you to kiss me since I showed you my guns.
Oh snap.
You okay with this?
I'm just waiting to see if I pass out. Long story.
From Surprise.
Oh, yeah. Good call back.
How many people in this room are you and me?
So, my child, How long has it been since your last confession?
What would I care to say?
You gonna remember where everything goes?
Let's just say I'd like to take it real slow.
You remember where everything goes? Well, he doing it.
He's doing the deed.
Sweating his ass off too. That's because the house made of aluminum for him. Probably a goddamn oven in there.
I was wondering where you didn't comment on it the entire time. Nice way to save it.
Yeah, trying to wait for something.
Oh, can't waste the joke, man.
Nah, you ain't waste that one. I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Me neither.
I thought he was waiting on a Naira.
Nara.
Nara.
Of course, got herself a champion, has she?
You know what I'm talking about.
This great man got a name?
Reynolds. Malcolm Reynolds.
Oh, he got a little snitch.
Yes, I've met the man. How many has he got with him?
Just a few. And only 2 real fighters besides himself. But they got the girls stirring for a battle.
I certainly wasn't expecting a battle. Seems the Heart of Gold's got itself a few mercenaries. Guess we best call the whole thing off.
He's got way more people.
Earned yourself quite a bag of silver. But I got a few more chores in mind before you get it.
I'm ready.
Now, Shari here. She understands a whore's place, don't she? But Nandy and those others, they spit on our town. They've no respect for the sanctity of fatherhood, or decency, or family. They have my child held hostage to their decadent ways, and that I will nullify. We will show them what power is. We will show them what their position in this town is. Let us all remember, right here and now, what a woman is to a man. Get on your knees.
Is that what we're doing?
We're just gonna do this? Oh, right.
Is that what this moon is about? That's what we're doing over here?
That's what that moon about over here?
Okay. Guess he got to go, babe.
Yeah. I don't like him.
I was about to give him a little bit of sympathy because that's his baby, but not no more.
Mr. Norris down over
Interesting
there.
night last night.
Ha! There we go. Walk of shame.
I just have to tell Nandy about
the fight that's coming.
About time to big fight today.
Big fight today.
You know, I was up. I kind of thinking.
So you took to bed with Nandy. I'm glad.
Glad.
Yes. She's a dear friend and probably in need of some comfort about now.
Well,
one of the virtues of not being puritanical about sex is not feeling embarrassed afterwards. You should look into it.
well, I just didn't want you thinking that I was taking advantage of your friend.
She's well worth taking advantage of. I sincerely hope you did.
So, you're okay? Well, yeah, but how wouldn't you be?
I wouldn't say I'm entirely okay. I'm a little appalled at her taste.
Still with the digs.
Shots.
Smallest bed. Oh, she's not okay. You faker.
You can't be playing with the man brain emotions like that. I mean, if you feel that kind of way, you should have been told to do something. Especially after you cried when he got knocked out from the lipstick. That was the moment right there, baby.
Boss, you there yet? All but. Nice day for a last stand, isn't it?
Try to make a healthy few stands after this one. Just hoping for some.
Where the hell is my spaceship?
Man, at least they're smart enough to know. Get that ship.
That's not helping art. What is this laser gun? Oh shit.
Ain't nothing you gonna do about that.
No. You need to shoot him in the face.
That's it, Peddling. One more push. That's the shoulders. Too good.
Jane?
I lost visual emerging.
Are we about to sneak in there? Ah, damn.
Hey, correct.
Oh, that was a bad plan. Can they do something?
Going anywhere.
He's stuck too.
Yeah.
I'll feed.
Good morning, Peddling. How's my boy?
Well, this was silly. Not to have anybody watch. Great.
Go on. Go on home.
You go with him.
Yeah.
Okay, she ain't scared. I guess she taking over the house
Yeah.
now. Unless anybody got a problem with that. Because we can talk about it. Well, she came out of nowhere being gangster. But I appreciate that headshot though, because it deserved to be done.
It's a different headshot.
And that mission is done. We can go ahead and keep moving. Now we didn't get paid, so it's, you know, it was out of the kindness of our heart.
I think those girls will do all right.
She taught them well.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were with her. Her last night. I am.
You're lying. Yeah, I wish I never met her. And I wouldn't have failed her.
That wasn't the way of it.
It's a kindness. But nothing you say will convince me different.
Well, I'm still glad.
So you weren't before?
Come on, be honest. They literally wanted to put your face.
Oh my god. If my ribs wasn't hurting so bad. Alright, that was episode 13 of Firefly. Wow, it was very predictable for me from beginning to end. It was very formulaic also as well. It still ended up being a really good episode. We did get some things happening, and it did have a surprise in there, which I did like. I liked the ending. I thought we was going to just not deal with this bad guy who was a creepy bad guy, but I'm glad we did, just as the show always does sometimes surprise me. Boom, right to the head. Loved it. Didn't see Anara wanting to leave the ship, but it was predictable at the moment, because right there it's like, she's not finna be in love with him or kiss him. She's got to leave, and she did. So will she actually be gone? We only got one more episode to find that out, but I don't know. We shall see. But I thought this was a good episode right here, and we got some shooting in it and a one good surprise headshot, and I was cool with that. Can't wait for the last one.
Yeah, so I thought this was a fantastic pick-me-up from the last episode, too. I feel like it definitely had all the characteristics of the show and character development that we've seen up until this point as well. It's a little bit fucking annoying to me, just from our banter in reference to Nara and her companion role, for them to like flip it and be like, they're all whores.
Oh yeah, like, the adult sex workers.
Like it's funny that they decided to commit to that, and it really worked for the episode. But I just mean for our dynamic, as far as like our banter this entire series, it was kind of like a slap in the face to me.
Yeah,
felt like a little bit. You're like, see, I was right. They are whores.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It played really well. I liked the relationship between Anara and I don't even know the girl's name, but the other companion owner. I thought she was fantastic. I thought the dynamic between her and Mao was especially, you knew, like, how could you resist her?
Yeah.
Like, she's so hot. And to see Anara break down crying was something that we haven't seen her do. She's always so composed and so well put together. The only crack we saw in that was, to your point you made during the episode, is when she got really scared that Mal was like dead when he kissed Saffron. So to see that complete breakdown and like how much that impacted her emotional state is why I feel she's called to, like, I gotta leave. Like, I'm way too invested in you. I can't even do my job anymore. I was so super focused. I stayed here too long and I'm too invested in our relationship now. It shouldn't impact me in the way that it does for me to be in the role that I am. Which I think is really good writing as far as her character goes. But I thought it was a really solid episode. There was a lot of hilarious lines this episode too. Very clever writing. I appreciate the show for doing what we get so frustrated. Why don't they just shoot him in the head? And the show did it. Like, same as the first couple, that one or two episodes in. Like, that's what you would expect in these situations. So I appreciate that they, like, commit to it. And, like, even it being, like, the girl that just had a baby, you know? Like, that's fucking badass. But she was like, and it makes sense because it's ultimately her relationship with the dude. So I just thought all that worked really, really well.
She should have been the one.
I will say, knowing that it's a penultimate episode too, and not even for this season, but for the series, is very depressing. That we only get one episode after this, because you can see how much growth the show could have had in just these last couple episodes too. So we'll have to see how they wrap it up. It's nice to know we do in fact have the movie as like something, a caveat after all of this. So our palates can be refreshed in that regard, but I can see the disappointment as far as seeing the potential in the show and how far it could have gone from this moment. So it's a lot of emotions, I guess, in this episode. So looking forward to the final.
Alright, well look, thank you guys again for watching another Real Talk reaction for Firefly Season 1, Episode 13. And until next time, people, peace.